Hello there, beautiful. You're tuned in with the one and only Queen Nubian. I am an elevated melanated empath and intuitive psychic reader, specializing in all things spiritual, cosmic, and in between. Here on YouTube, I do tarot readings on celebrities and hot topics, zodiac signs, and pick a card readings, as well as the occasional surprise live for the collective. My ultimate intent is healing. And if you know, like I know, you can never control their perception. Focus on controlling your intent. I know it's giving preachy, bag lady Badu, but let me just say this. When you take away gems, or if you're just feeling it, don't forget to like the content. Infuse love and truth in all you do. The law of attraction is so real, and that's period, boo. Someone else receiving a blessing is not one taken away from you. Peace, family. Thank you for joining me tonight. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a reading that I've been wanting to do for a minute now, really since I first heard about the case. Rest in power, rest in peace, Shanquella Robinson. To her mother, I can't imagine your specific pain, but I can imagine the loss of a child because I've been there. And I just want to, again, send my deepest condolences. You're in my prayers. I speak nothing but healing and comfort and love. I pray that, you're able to stay strong, because your conviction is already clear. To her father, from everything that I've seen, you have gone above and beyond to exhibit, first of all, what a real father is, what a real father does, how a real man fights for his child in life and in death. And so I commend you both as parents. This reading, to give respect to the family. I'm not going to, go down that rabbit hole like a lot of other YouTubers and bloggers are doing. This reading is intended to be respectful. I am an empath and intuitive reader, and my videos, the intent behind my videos is healing, is clarification, and spiritual understanding. I use myself as a vessel to convey messages to the collective, as well as any subjects covered in my readings, again, to bring about healing and understanding. There are a lot of conspiracy theories, a lot of narratives being spun all over the internet, and I apologize for that as well. I feel like what being woke is becoming synonymous with things that don't necessarily align with true consciousness, knowledge of self, I should say, and spirituality. And so, like I said, I don't want this video to be too long, but I just had to in humility say that, because like I said, social media and all of the hoopla has really created a lot of insensitive people. And, that ties in with what happened to Shanquella. And one of the main reasons that her story resonated with me is because, you know, I I was not a big fighter, growing up either. I could tell that Shanquella, like me, was about her money, was about, keeping her class and poise and reputation intact. About having something in life, having goals, conquering your dreams, challenging yourself to be stronger, better. So again, I can just really relate to, wanting to see the best in people and having a big heart, calling people your friends, just to be betrayed. So what I'm going to be looking or asking Spirit to show me in this reading is, first of all, first of all, I just want to check in with Shanquella, make sure that she has gone into the light, that her spirit is at peace. Although, you know, things are, although things have been rocky and up and down with the investigation and dealing with, you know, a different country with different customs and all of that, different laws, I would still just like to affirm that her spirit, you know, has found that her spirit has been able to transcend, so that, you know, she can be a light to her loved ones, so that she can protect them throughout this very tumultuous process. So like I said, I first just kind of want to check in with her in that regard. And then one of the things that has really, really been bugging me, and that I feel like is still not clear, is motive. So what exactly was the motive for this attack? And not just this attack, but this, you know, this entire debacle, this entire trip. Because, you know, you don't have to be a rocket scientist or a forensic scientist or detective even to see that this thing was orchestrated. Although, you know, there were some loose ends and, you know, some things that were, you know, sloppy and not well thought out. There are certain elements of this case that just, you know, make it undeniable that, you know, there was ill intent. They may not have been looking to actually take her life, but it's abundantly clear that, you know, they collectively, you know, had ill intent, you know, to do Shanquella harm and to, you know, knock her off of her horse, so to speak, because it's obvious that she was winning. And, you know, that's just something that, you know, envy, jealousy is a very low vibrational emotion. Feel like she might already have seen that. Was validation right there. It was actually a Pentacles card, and I'm talking about the bag. But like I said before, you know, I can already, you know, sense that, you know, jealousy, envy, and all of that has a lot to do with the things that transpired, and, you know, how these other individuals felt towards her. Because you have to have, you know, a really, really deep-seated hatred, or again, envy, you know, in your heart, to be able to hurt someone like that and to not properly administer aid to them, to, you know, lie to the family and be misleading, to, in her best friend's case, you know, be so disloyal and betray her the way that he did. There's a reason that, you know, I'm a loner and that I don't have a lot of friends. And one of those is, yeah, because you know, I'm an introvert. I've always been a very introverted person. I've always been, you know, just someone that kind of, you know, marches to the beat of my own drum, you know, someone who likes to lead rather than follow, a very creative and innovative person, always have been goal driven and goal oriented, you know, but we all have, you know, our younger years, you know, where we, you know, we're experiencing life, we're learning our lessons, we are being, you know, used as, you know, our, give the analogy of, you know, being sharpened. You know, we are tools. We are God's, you know, manifestations of God in human form. and our tools are being sharpened so that we can ascend spiritually and, reach that level. So when people are operating, though, on a very low vibration and they're very low on that spiritual ladder, you know, seeing someone else's light begins to blind them rather than them realizing that, having someone around you who has knowledge that you don't have, skills that you don't have, whatever it is that you covet that they have, some people don't realize, that their light can be a beacon to you in your darkness. You don't have to envy that person. But again, like I said, that's another thing I want to see what spirit is willing to divulge as far as motive, and then kind of like what we can expect, because this whole thing, man, has been a fiasco. And one thing I can already kind of feel for sure is that it's going to take time. Just like I said with the takeoff reading, that they were going to need to get all their ducks in a row, but things would definitely come to light, because while we want to believe in the story that is the most sensational, the most salacious, at the end of the day, it wasn't really a sacrifice. It wasn't really a setup as far as taking his life. It was street shit. At the end of the day, it was, boys disguised as men, not in control of their emotions, operating out of ego, operating from a low vibration, being inhibited by drugs, by alcohol, because it's ironic that they say that the shooter, his fingerprints were lifted off of a wine bottle. And another word to describe alcohol is spirits. So when you give in to, those things that are able to alter your state of mind, you're essentially giving in to outside spirits to take over and to, and then you're at their will. You're not able to make the best decisions. So we don't always have to equate celebration and having a good time with alcohol or with substances that are going to alter reality. Once you can be truly happy within yourself and truly love yourself, you will understand that there is no high like a natural high. There is no happiness, in material possessions, or being liked by everyone, or liked for your, or lusted after for your physical appearance, or liked for what you have. There is really no fulfillment in that. Excuse me. True fulfillment comes from within. But let me go ahead and get into the reading. I said I wasn't going to ramble, and I'm doing just that. But yeah, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your girl is trying to build a YouTube channel from scratch, from the ground up. I do what I do, and I do it well. So just remember, the law of attraction is real, and someone else receiving a blessing is not one taken away from you. So hit the like button, it's free. So Spirit, first of all, let's take a moment. I always like to take a moment to let, the spirit know, and let their ancestors know, let their protective guides and angels know that I have no ill intent, that I come in peace, that I am simply seeking clarity and understanding, because all of our lives are entwined. some people think, well, why, why do tarot readers, why are they trying to see other people's business or look into other people's lives? What a lot of people don't understand is that all of our lives are entwined. Just, think of it as a million tiny threads being interconnected, sort of like creating a tetrahedron design. Tetrahedron. I always get that word fumbled, but all of our lives are entwined. And so it's no coincidence to me that, yet again, like with the Kanika Jenkins case, that, the senseless, taking of a life in the case of a beautiful and bright and promising young Black woman, has impacted literally the entire globe. It's no surprise because, her divine feminine energy is very, very strong, and I know that while it was intimidating to some, I'm feeling that she was the type of person that demanded, attention wherever she went without even trying. Some people just have that air about them, just have that energy about them. They're able to carry themselves with confidence to maintain a certain level of class, regardless of their background. So again, like there's just so many things I could feel about her that, that resonate with me and that sound, like me. So let's see. Wow. Okay. So we first have the God of Cups. And this card, gosh, guys, it never fails. This card to me always represents, no better way to say it than a fuckboy. A male who is not, in control of his emotions and who is making emotionally based decisions that are reckless and, bring harm to others and himself. And so starting off right on the right note, and I believe that this is depicting Khalil, the one that she perceived as a friend, more so than any of the other individuals involved. But she's really disappointed in him and utterly shocked, by what he was a part of. I don't get the feeling that she's necessarily shocked by the behavior of, the others that were there, specifically the females, but she's definitely shocked. She was definitely shocked and hurt by his behavior. And, he is also feeling a tremendous amount of emotional turmoil, and as he should be. But I also get the feeling that it's sort of weird. I wouldn't necessarily say that he doesn't have remorse, but it feels more like regret. Like he regrets the situation because of what ended up happening, how far it ended up going, and the fact that he's gotten into trouble and that his life has been changed forever. The trajectory of all of their lives has been affected forever. But like they say, you play stupid games, get stupid prizes. So I really have to say, I really have no compassion for him, because how is it that this is someone you called a friend, who you've broken bread with and traveled with, and you looked her mother in the eyes, or and lied to her mother. I just, but yeah, she right away is definitely showing that, she that is her greatest, disappointment in that her friend was a part of this. um and then we have the Two of Pentacles, Lady in Red, Two of Pentacles, with the waterfall in the back. So this is showing that basically this is who she was. So, just like I was, just mentioning, she had her finances in order. You see she's holding the Two Pentacles, representing her finances, her monetary possessions, her success, her prosperity, with the infinity symbol around it. So she was a very, very resourceful person, the type of person that, could make $1 out of 15 cents. She was always honing her skills. She was always able to be creative and be industrious and have some type of, generating some type of income, or um, creating something valuable. So she's showing me, just who she was, and what was lost, that she had so much to give in the future. I know, Mama. I know. And so if there is any, um, let me just go to the next card, because I feel like the next card will help me to explain this better. So in terms of me asking, where, how her spirit is doing, if she is still earthbound, or if she has been able to cross over into the light. The Star card in reverse is kind of showing that she's sort of in between. So, the Star card represents, it is a beautiful depiction of the divine feminine energy, with, we see her third eye, referencing her pineal gland and her crown chakra. We see that, she she's not we see that she's holding two pots, which she's pouring into the water, which gives me reference to Oshun or Yamaya energy. Just a very strong, beautiful, inherently spiritual woman who, she wasn't exactly where she wanted to be in her spiritual journey, but she definitely was waking up to a lot of things. She definitely, um, you know, was beginning to focus more on the spiritual aspect of life. I wouldn't be surprised if she had a conversation with a relative before she went on this trip about, um, going to church, or just stopping drinking, or just, kind of evolving spiritually, growing spiritually, in whatever way, whatever her destiny was, whatever her interpretation of her religion or understanding was. She definitely wasn't someone who didn't believe in God, or who had no morals in that. She, she was definitely grounded, and, looking to continue to ascend spiritually, and she definitely would have, a force to be reckoned with. I mean, she already was, but, you know, again, just like myself, I was always very mature for my age, even when I was young, and still making, young and rash decisions. But, where I was spiritually, in comparison to other people my age, was light years away. And so that's the feeling I'm getting from this card. But with it being in reverse, I feel that, it's kind of showing that she wasn't ready to go. She wasn't ready to go, and, there's going to have to be more closure. more closure as far as the pain and grief that her family is carrying, specifically her parents. And she would like to see justice in her case. So, and I would just light a candle for her. I'll definitely be lighting a candle, just so that her ancestors, angels and spirit guides can continue to coax her, into the light to cross over, because, their karma is inevitable. That's the spirit is definitely going to work that out. And then going into the Ten of Swords, you can see on this card, with the knives in her back and the woman depicted here being slaughtered. This is how she felt. Again, her life was taken tragically, and with all of these swords in her back, every person that betrayed her was a sword in her back. And unfortunately, she did experience great pain. And so this is a part of why, her spirit is having more of a difficult time crossing over, which is common for, people being taken away before their time. So that is just so unfortunate. But again, she definitely is going to be okay. She's definitely going to be okay. She does have people on the other side who will see her over. And then we have the Six of Wands in reverse. So the Six of Wands usually talks about your stature, your reputation, essentially you being, I don't want to say up on a high horse, because I don't get the feeling that she was arrogant, like overtly arrogant about her accomplishments and things, but she just, in the eyes of others, she, people looked at her as someone who was sort of like an overachiever, someone who, even when, she didn't feel that she was at her best or doing her best, people still always saw her at her best. Just because of the type of time that she was on, and because of her track record. But with this card being in reverse, she's given the energy of, again, that being taken away from her promise, her future, her position, all of those things being squandered. And, those people being responsible. Oh, goodness. Then we have the Seven of Cups in reverse. And this is talking about all of the elements that were involved. She's definitely showing that this was orchestrated by, I feel like she's showing all of the different elements involved in the planning, and basically just confirming that, yes, this was definitely planned. There were certain things that they did strategically to corner her, to get her somewhere far away from home, where they knew that she was loved and that she could, call someone and have immediate assistance or immediate backup. There's just certain snaky things that they did to ensure that they could inflict this pain on her. So, for instance, you see a snake depicted there, and then you see a bearded man here. Again, her best friend was very pivotal in this, because, if she did feel uneasy with the other girls that were going to be there, him being there gave her a level of comfort. So, and she's confirming that, there were a lot of elements involved here, but it was definitely a calculated plan. I see devil horns here as well. They, it's like they humiliated her on so many levels. they not only, you know, humiliated her and you know, took her dignity, but they, you know, it's almost like it wasn't going, she couldn't have suffered enough. It was like, and what I mean by that is, like, for instance, in the video, you see that she's obviously not fighting back. She obviously, you know, is at, you know, her lowest point. It's like, how can you continue to kick someone and wail on them as if they're fighting back, as if they're, you know, showing some, I mean, I just, ugh. Said, I don't want to get too gory or get too much into the details, but this was a truly, truly evil and heinous act. And it just was completely senseless. It was completely childless, senseless, and again, just low vibrational energy. And so, you know, they deserve every bit of flack, you know, every bit of punishment, they completely deserve it, all of them, all of them. Then we have the Daughter of Pentacles here. So I heard, okay, this is confirming for me that they also took money and maybe even some of her material possessions. Like they may have taken some stuff that she packed on the trip that maybe her family didn't know that she had. So them taking it was, you know, and this is that Dejanay girl for sure. She was one of the main masterminds, if not the mastermind, and she definitely benefited off of, you know, putting Shanquella in this position. She definitely took something from her. And oh, that is just so lowly and sick and cowardly. I don't... Anyway, the Daughter of Cups. This card usually symbolizes to me a surprise, you know, something happening that, you know, you would least expect. And she didn't expect this at all. She did not. She was completely blindsided. You know, she was intent on having a good time, on celebrating. You know, she knew that, you know, that not everybody there was like her ace boon coon, or like that she wasn't like this with everybody. But, you know, she's the type of person that, you know, she work hard, play hard. You know, she wasn't, she didn't deserve this, guys. You know, in a nutshell, she didn't deserve this at all. But I want to pull a few more cards just to get clarification on the aftermath. Like, you know, are these guys going to be brought to justice? You know, what can we get from that? What can Spirit give us in that regard? Just pull a couple more. This is, yeah, I forgot the Death card. That one flew out. It's like she specifically picked that one. So we have the Death card. Two of Wands, yep. And the Two of Swords in reverse. So yeah, so they're definitely going to be held accountable. Every single one of them. Everyone's punishment is not going to be equal. In other words, some are going to be punished more harshly than others. You know, and this will all be based on the evidence. I feel like some of the officials or employees are going to be held accountable as well. I know there was a doctor that, you know, came to see her and, you know, maybe could have potentially saved her if she had gotten, you know, to a hospital sooner. But so the death card, and it doesn't always have to symbolize, a physical death. It could also symbolize, the end of things. So, like I said earlier, they have essentially lost, their lives as they, none of them again will have the life that they had before this encounter. Regardless of how much time each one gets or how harsh the punishment is, there is no punishment greater than what they are going to be battling internally. Um, and this is something that they will all carry with them to death. Something, hey, play stupid games, get stupid prizes. The Two of Wands, again, just, affirming that this card for me usually symbolizes travel, or what goes around comes around. And although, they thought they were being strategic in traveling and doing this to her away from home, there's some people that you just cannot fuck with, okay? So that one's stopping none, and it may seem like, in the end, Shanquella lost, but in the grand scheme of things, because sometimes we get so caught up in our humane lives and our mundane human lives that, we forget that, there is, a bigger picture in the grand scheme of things. Like, this is only uh, one facet of our our lives in terms of who we are as soul beings, you know. So, I definitely feel like her energy will reincarnate, and that she'll get another chance, at happiness and ascension. So, lastly, I pulled the Two of Swords in reverse. So this is gonna take some time. Again, like I said, with the with the takeoff case, um, there's going to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of um, refuting of evidence, a lot of questions being posed because there's so many different moving parts, especially with this all having happened in another country. But justice, nonetheless, will be served. And like I said, what's important is that, they'll be suffering the spiritual consequences of this as well. So, yeah. Um, like I said, I wanted to kind of keep it, kind of light. I didn't want to get too deep in this reading, but I definitely wanted to see what messages Spirit has. Our strongest connection to God is our intuition. I feel like, there were warning signs, um, that she kind of just brushed off. Um, she kind of just gave them the benefit of the doubt. But everyone is not deserving of your time and energy. That's another thing, to be mindful of. If you have to walk alone, sometimes so be it, you know. Um, but yeah, that's what I have for now. So again, guys, remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel so that I can help it grow, and remember that someone else receiving a blessing is not one taken away from you. So it's better to give than it is to receive. Peace. I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Check out some of my other readings on my channel. And remember, like the video, it's free.